the pain, pushing you on to destiny lane. Life is an experience, ain't no fearing it. Pigs and experiment to have a collision with fear. Doubt, insecurity, ambiguity, your spirit and detergent. What's your purpose? Surface, confidence, soar. Keep the giants roar, the road get explored. Exposure to the core, butterflies, take it cool. Like baby, straight to the wall. Bliss sight, life filled with the sweetness of a shoe. No longer move timidly, dreams are seen vividly. Recalibrated chemistry to produce rhythm. High energy flow, wisdom, praise, and get knowledge operated on. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. High energy flow, wisdom, praise, and get knowledge operated on. You can take an African out of Africa, but you can't take Africa out of African. From Fela to Dayla, I see why they say I put fear in the heart of the least. The scene deja vu. The king to turn round to rule with an iron fist. Shango piss fire dispute like dragons of magic. Whole goon circle your stage coach wagon demanding reparations of shade. Okay, folks, no Eric is no the slaves, no rookies. We ran in by Lucius and Cookie. Hello, everybody. How you doing? About to start 1 second. Don't forget to share this video. As many people as you possibly can think of. I put a couple of messages in the comments. Please, if you can see the comments, let me know you're here. Let me know who you are. Don't forget to subscribe to whatever platform you're watching this on. And share this video. All right? We're about to go in. I won't be here long. I give thanks to everybody for coming and supporting PTHD. It's really near and dear to my heart. It's really good work. I'm so glad that the Most High brought this idea through me, and I'm so glad that my Ori was humble enough to accept the mission. And I look forward to seeing where it can go. With that being said, let's do this. I want to ground a little bit first, so I want to breathe because I need to breathe for myself today. You know what they say, who teaches the teacher, right? So I've been having some issues going on this week that I've been kind of like dealing with. So I want to make sure I ground myself before I speak. So I'm going to breathe. If you want to join me, please join in. I'm going to close my eyes and relax my mind a little bit. Breathe in a little bit, breathe out a little bit. But I want to breathe with intentions. So I'm going to breathe in and hold it. I'm going to breathe in 3 seconds and hold it 3 seconds and release it 3 seconds. So on 3, I'm going to take it in. 1, 2, 3. Hold it. Release it 3 seconds. I'm going to do that again. Just want to center myself. Hopefully you'll join me again. On 3, take it in. 1, 2, 3. Release it. We'll do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, take it in. Release it. All right. Shake all that off. But let's get it going. Welcome, y'all. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Again, I am Jasir Franklin, founder of Post-Traumatic Hood Disorders, which is short for what I call PTHD. And for those who are new, again, I'm going to explain what PTHD real quick, as I always do. PTHD is a concept that's not technically clinical just yet. I'm sure it will be in the future. That's why I patent the name, but I trademarked the name. But PTHD is a concept that I came up with from me growing up in South Central LA, going through some crazy times in that city. Had some great times too, but the trauma is what stood out in my life that was causing dysfunction. Went to some counseling and
walked out of that counseling session, a couple of the counseling sessions, feeling like I had post-traumatic hood disorders. That's kind of when I coined the idea. And then through my spiritual journey, I learned some other things about the mind. My scientific studies led me all back to this concept of what PTSD is, which is basically post-traumatic hood disorders. And it's a thing that affects us all throughout our journey in life. If you grew up in any kind of environment in the hood, you basically have PTSD. You just don't know it yet. It's affecting your marriages, your relationships, your work, your money, just overall how you view life. It's affecting that. So we want to acknowledge that, put it on the table, deal with it so we can heal PTSD in this lifetime. That's the goal here, right? So now that you understand what PTSD is, and you want to now understand healing hood-based, how important healing hood-based traumas are. Now, there's so many different ones. We won't go into them all. But if you do want to know more about what that is, I'm going to invite you to go to our website, which is healpthd.com, healpthd.com, healpthd.com. Go there and subscribe to the page. Reach out to one of us. We will get in contact with you as soon as possible. If you want to come to one of the hood summits, if you're in the LA area and you want to come to one of the hood summits, all of our hood summits are on that website. Go there to the event page, click, get a free ticket, and show up. The next one is on August 16th. It's going to be a really good one. It's called Drum Roll, the difference between knowing the path and walking the path. All right? The difference between knowing the path and walking the path. That's the next hood summit. If you want to come, get your tickets now. All right? Seating is limited. All right? So please get your tickets while they are there and available. If you want to know more about yourself and how hood traumas and hood-based traumas have affected you, or PTSD has affected you, get diagnosed. Click this link here. There's a 5-liner there, and then there's a test on that 5-liner screen. Take your test. Call us, reach out so we can help you to cure some of that PTSD. All right. So let's jump into what we came to do today. Today we are doing Reset Sundays. Again, I want to welcome everybody in. Again, share this video, share it as much as you can to whomever you think might be interested in this particular session. All right. What are we talking about today, y'all? What are we talking about today? We are talking about something that is very real in our society. And the question of today is, who's in control? Who's in control? A lot of us think that we are in control. A lot of us like to control things. And I want y'all to excuse my glasses today. I'm wearing these little small glasses because I broke mine. I am so hard on glasses. I break them all every time I get some. That's why I keep buying these little cheapy ones, because I keep breaking glasses. But anyway, please excuse the glasses. But who's in control? All right. Who's in control of your life? Is it you? Is it you? So many people want to control every aspect of their life. And that's kind of normal. I get it. I totally get it. But I have a few questions that I think will help you understand who is actually in control. Now, I know it's your life. You're living this life. You're the one doing this work in this life. I get it. But I just want you to do me a favor throughout the rest of this conversation. I want you to really, 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 really open your mind up to something different. We say in this thing here that we do called Heal PTSD. What we say here is that you have to be willing to renege on old ideas. You have to be willing to renege on old ideas, because if you are looking to grow, the old can't go. If you're looking to elevate, the old stuff can't detonate in your life. You can't allow that stuff to happen. So yes, we have our past, and our past is our past. But our past, everything in our past is not going to be a part of our present, or it shouldn't be a part of our present. Everything I did as a child cannot go with me as an adult. Some of the lessons that I learned can, But everything I learned there, I did there in that stage of my life, can't go with me. Everything I did in my 20s can't go with me in my 50s. Everything I did in a previous relationship can't go with me into this next relationship. Like our past can't go with us everywhere. The thing is, what did you learn from those past issues or experiences? That's what you take, the lessons that you learned from those past experiences. Not everything. Because everything moving in your future is not going to be the same experience. But what did you learn is the question. When I see people taking stuff into their next relationships, into the next parts of the phases of their life, I know that they didn't sit down and learn the lesson. That's what I do know. So let's talk about what we're doing now, right now. Who's in control? I want you to ask yourself right now, who's in control of your life? And I'm putting the emphasis on yours for a reason. All right. Now, let me know who's in control of your life. Is it you? Or is it something higher than you? We often move through life believing we're in control of our healing, of our destiny, of our relationships, and even we think we're in control of our purpose. But let me ask you this. Let me say this real quick. But if you're in control, then why do things fall apart in your life? I mean, like if we are in control of this, we're going to paint the best picture we can possibly paint. There's never going to be a sad day. There's never going to be a rainy day. There's never going to be a divorce. There's never going to be bad kids. There's never going to be hungry moments. We're never going to be without money. Like if we painted the picture and we were totally in control, none of these things would exist in our reality, right? Because who desires those things? Who desires to feel heartbreak? Who desires to lose a parent? Who desires to lose a spouse? Who desires to have all of these things in life that at times can cause us pain? Why would we choose that if we're in control? Does that make sense? This week, we want to unpack the illusion of control and what it truly means to surrender while still showing up with intention. Okay. I hope you're following me with this, y'all. Hope this is making sense. I think I see a comment. I want to check on that real quick. Hey, Travis, how you doing, man? How you doing? Appreciate you for being here. Again, share this video. All right, so let's go there. I got some reflection questions. I want you to actually get a pen and some paper, y'all, and do this homework for yourself because it'll take you a long way as you do it, okay? So do this homework for yourself and take this information with you. So ask yourself this question. Number one, who's really in control of your life? Is it you, your trauma, your environment, your ancestors, or your divine purpose, which translates into the Most High? Who's really in control? I'm going to say it one more time. Is it you, or is it your trauma experiences taking over the wheel? Is it your environment that you're in? Well, I come from South Central. I come from Brooklyn. I come from Watts. I come from Bed-Stuy. I come from wherever. Fifth Ward. I come from all these places in the world that usually have trauma related to them, and they have influenced the way I think. Is that what's in control? Is your PTHD in control? In other words, right? Is it your ancestors? Are your ancestors coming to the table and coming to the surface and controlling you? They could be. It's called epigenetics, right? Or is it your divine purpose? Is it God? Is it God controlling you? Be honest, y'all. This stuff doesn't work without honesty. It just doesn't work without honesty. We have to be honest at what is real, with what is real. Because how else will we heal or move forward without being real and honest? Hope you wrote that down. Number two, if you're in control, then tell me something. And this is going to be a very important question. I want you to really pay attention to this question. If you're in control, then tell me, what is God's job? What is the Most High's job in your life if you're in control? Think about this question. If you're in control, what is the Most High's job in your life then? Can two hands be on the same wheel? Like, are you really saying that you're Batman and God is Robin? Really? I've never seen Robin grab the wheel while Batman was rolling. Like, can two hands be on the same wheel steering the same ship? No, it can't. It can't. So who's Batman? Who's Robin? Let me know. What's God's job in your life if you're in control of this whole ship? Sub question, really important one though. How often are you praying for answers that you refuse to release control in order to receive the fruit of that prayer? You see, Most High can't get in the way of your inability to let go. The Most High, to be clear, is in control. And sometimes the Most High will let you go through things like what we mentioned previously, the divorces, the heartbreaks, the losses, the poverty, the growing up in the hood, because we have to be shown who, at times, sometimes we got to be explained by the Most High who's really in control. Because sometimes the human ego can get out of control. So sometimes you got to go through some things and get sat down and be shown who's really doing this. And if you're not learning your lessons, the Most High is going to keep letting you learn the lesson until you, guess what? Learn the lesson. But meanwhile, we're praying for all these things that we actually want to happen and change in our lives because we feel we're in control, right? We want to see it change in our lives, but it's not changing. Why? Because we're refusing to release control of what we are not in control of. Therefore, how are you ever going to receive it? I really hope this is making sense to somebody. God is in total control, but we have a choice. You are totally right, Tony. You are totally right. And we're going to get to some of that in a minute, right? All right, number 3, keep your pencils out and your pad out. We got a lot of stuff to write down. So number 3, question number 3. If you're in control, then how do the problems occur? Like I said again, divorces, bankruptcies, unexpected illnesses, missed goals, disobedient children. Think everything that I named before. Please, come on, y'all. Let's keep it a buck, man. If we are going to make our lives, if God gave us the pen and the pad to draw out our life, we would not draw any of these things in it. None of these things would exist inside of our life if we had the pen and pad to create what we wanted. I've never heard somebody ask for some from stress. I never heard somebody ask for poverty. I never heard somebody ask for struggles in their life. I never heard of that. I never heard somebody ask to have a racist experience. I've never heard somebody do any of these things. I've never heard these things. Because we want to have a sunny day every day in our minds. And if we are in control of this, that's the picture that we're going to paint. And we know that. So, if you're in control, why are these things happening? What does that reveal about your limits, about the limits of your power? If those things happen, what does that reveal about your powers? Are they limited? Now, just like Tony just said, we have the power of the choice in the matter. That's what our brain is there for. We can make a choice in those situations. But overall, these things that are happening, we have no control over what's going to happen from second to second, minute to minute, day to day, hour to hour. Like, we don't have that control. This game board called life was created already for us to play in. We have control on how we navigate through it by the choices that we make. That's the control we do have. The game itself, we don't have the control over. He said, God is not a cosmic Santa Claus. I hear you, Papa. So, with that being said, Are these challenges signs of failure that we have in our life, or invitations to surrender? Now, if you were anything like me, I'm gonna keep it buck. I'm gonna be me. I was super hard headed. I thought I had everything in control until I got sat down. No, I didn't go to jail. None of that stuff, right? I just got sat down, and God had to show me who was boss. And but being able to sit down, what does that do? It creates humility. It creates humility. You see, in order to surrender, which sounds very passive to most people, right? You got to surrender to something only that's bigger than you. I can't surrender to somebody that's, I'm not gonna say subservient, but we see eye to eye, we at the same level. I can't surrender to that. But if something is bigger than me, I got to bow to it, especially when it has something to do with my entire life, spirit, and soul. So when I go through my challenges to this day, I know that there's something on the other side of that. And I'm human. I have my moments. I have some moments today. I was just telling my sister today I was having some moments. I've been having some challenges with my organization and my business trying to build it out. It's tough building this thing out. It's tough getting people to see that they actually have PTSD. It's tough getting people to see they need to change and heal these things. Because a lot of people have a lot of trinkets in life, cars, houses, beautiful spouses, trips around the world, doing all their thing, degrees. They have all these things. They think that they're okay, but that's not reality. A lot of them still have PTSD and they don't want to see it. It's not just the ones that are still in the ghetto, that are still stuck in the bottoms of this situation. It's if you came from it, you have it. So the thing is, those things you have don't dictate that you've healed. They dictate that you have been persistent to get some things and you actually achieve those goals. But healing the inside of you is a different journey. It's not the same. It is super not the same. Hope that makes sense. So I'm asked that question one more time. Are these challenges signs of failures or invitations by the Most High for you to surrender to the Most High's will for your life? Not what you want for it, but what the Most High has created you to do in this life. Who he's created you to be with, or it has created you to be with, who she has created you to be with. There's just multiple situations there, right? Whatever it is you're supposed to be doing is not dictated by the outside world. There's a bigger piece being played here. Stay with me. Last question. What are you actually in control of? Well, just like Baba said, you are in control of your choices. You are in control, hopefully, of your attitude if you are mature enough in the moment. Do you react or do you respond? Have you even studied how to respond to things properly in life in any scenario? Most of us really don't, if we're being honest. Most of us don't study these things. We just respond and react accordingly to how we have been doing it and think it works for us. But these are still the choices that we're making. You're going to make a choice to correct it, or you're going to make a choice to stay in it. It goes back to your choices. And lastly, you are in control of your ability to surrender. There is a scene in Malcolm X. I love to tell this part of the story because it makes so much sense to me. There's a scene in the Malcolm X movie where Malcolm is in jail and he has been meeting with Brother Baines, and Brother Baines has been trying to show him the walk, and Malcolm is fighting it tooth and nail. He brings Malcolm into this dark room and he presents Allah to him. And he's like, Malcolm, you need to kneel and pray to Allah. And he's like, what am I going to say? He's like, say what's on your heart. And he sits there and he struggles and he plays double dutch and thinking about jumping down there on his knees. And he's like, Brother Baines, I can't. Brother Baines, I can't. Like he was still fighting with what he thought was right from his past versus what Brother Baines is trying to show him. But look what happened when he surrendered to it. He couldn't become Malcolm X without that surrender. He had the courage to see what was on the other side. He accepted it eventually. He learned a whole lot studying with the brothers. Came out, and we know the rest of the story. He became the Malcolm X, one of the people that I respect the most in this world. It's only a few of them. Him and Muhammad Ali are two of my favorites. But he became the Malcolm that we all knew and loved. Why? Because he had to surrender and stop resisting. You're not in control. Bottom line. So stop trying to be in control. Even the ocean, the rivers know that it's not in control. They go where they have to go. I don't care if you put a dam in front of it. It's still going to try to go where it has to go. Why can't we be the same? Listen, y'all. Trying to be in control is often a trauma response dressed in the responsibility of being in control. Something has traumatized a person that wants to be in control of everything, and they feel like if they get out of control, they will be exposed. Why does that matter? Only they know. But every action, every reaction, for that matter, has a root. So whatever that trauma is for you, why you need to be in control and why you think you control everything, there's a trauma there. And whatever it is for you, only you know what it is. But most of us keep that dark room shut with padlocks on it and bolts all around it. Don't want nobody to go in there, and they don't even want to go in there and figure out what's in there still. It's like an old dusty garage. Nobody wants to go in there, right? But we must go into that dusty garage if we want to get out of our own way and stop thinking that we're in control. And that way, the Most High can truly give you what you are here to do and bless you with what you're supposed to truly have. Just because you have some things right now doesn't mean it belongs to you. Don't get it twisted, y'all. Just because you got some things, or if you don't have some things, don't mean that this is where you're supposed to be either. You're supposed to have things in this life that's for you, though. Not because of what society says you're supposed to have. What you're supposed to have is for you only. Your thumbprint is unique out of the 8 billion people on this planet. There's something specifically with your name on it. What that is, stop resisting and you will find out. The emotional toll of trying to manage what only the Most High can guide is so heavy to do. The emotional toll it takes on you trying to manage what the Most High can only guide you to do is so heavy to do. Come on, y'all. Those of us that have been control freaks in our life, or maybe still are control freaks, you got to admit, it's a heavy load to carry every day. It's heavy. It's a lot to do. It's a lot to manage. It's tiring. It's exhausting. It's stressful. Hell, it kills people trying to manage all of that. Because guess what? It's probably not for you. Now, there's some people who are just walking in their purpose and they're doing it because it is their purpose. They are blessed people. Trust me. I don't know if they're resisting or I don't know if they have surrendered. But I know some people like that have been blessed to be able to walk in their purpose and know it. You can see it's their purpose and they're living it. That's beautiful. But for the most people, we're not in our purpose and we're trying to fight. We're fighting with controlling traumas and we're afraid to resisting. We're resisting over and over and we're afraid to surrender to something bigger than us. I'm talking to everybody here. I don't care if you are in a 20-room mansion or you are in a halfway house somewhere. I don't care who you are at this point and everywhere in between. We all have the ability to surrender to the Most High's will and be able to allow ourselves to become what we were sent here to be. This world does not have a padlock or a patent on our reality. It just doesn't. It has a sales pitch and a good marketing campaign to make you think otherwise. But in reality, only the Most High knows what's good for us. Not another person. Definitely, like I said, not society. Control versus clarity. Are you forcing your way or flowing in divine rhythm? Control versus clarity. Are you clear where you're supposed to be? Or are you just forcing this square peg into a round hole because society says it goes in there? I'm telling y'all, we got to be honest here. We got to be honest here and put the truth on the table. We got to be honest here and put the truth on the table. I only do these videos because I want everybody to have a reset for their Sunday to start their week with. I want you to go into this week thinking. I hope you wrote this stuff down, but I want you to think about, am I in control? Am I trying to control something that shouldn't be controlled? Should I just let the river flow in this direction and see where it goes and trust that the Most High is taking me in the right direction because I have been doing what I'm supposed to do to get there? I don't care what it is. It can be a relationship. It can be a business. It can be an event you're doing. It could be a job you're applying for or you're currently working. I want you to sit back and reflect on that and think about that, especially when things arise. Remember, I said when the things start happening in your life that we don't like, those are opportunities to surrender, not resist. Don't resist in that moment. Just surrender. How do you surrender? I mean, sometimes I got to do it myself. Sometimes you got to just walk away from a situation and go get your clarity. You can't, sometimes when you're in the middle of the war and the bullets are flying, it's hard to get the message. I have a quick question I want to address. Mark says, how does one know or discover what the Most High has in store for us? If it's via surrender, explain what surrender looks like or how to achieve it. I'm not sure how much of this message you've seen, Mark, but I kind of put up some of that in the beginning of it, but I'll try to answer some of that real quick in a quick synopsis. How does one know or discover what the Most High has in store for them? My answer to that is usually always, whatever you're running from, you should be running towards. A lot of people run from their purpose. They run from what the Most High has in store for them. I ran from speaking for years, for me, as an example. Like I was always nervous in classes to speak when I was coming up in school and stuff. Like I was always hands clammy and sweaty and didn't want to talk and sat in the back of the class until I got a reading done about 15 years ago that told me I should be speaking to many people. And I was like, I ain't doing that. But I had just started a business and I had to start speaking. So I had to get over my fear. I had to stop resisting the situation. And then when I got into it, I got better and better at it, like immediately almost. Like it's kind of like freestyle for me. Like it really comes easy for me, but I was scared to do it. I was scared to see what was on the other side of that. So again, whatever it is that you are running from, sit down and meditate with that. Sit with it. See what it is that you do that you're running from and let it sit. If it's a relationship that's kind of turbulent, it might be some good on the other side of that. You're not just patient enough to see what's over there. Your ego might be in a way of what they're doing and saying and how it may come across to you at the moment, but there's something on the other side that if you just sit with it, as long as that person is willing to heal and do the work too. But I hope I'm answering your question. Some part of your question, Mark. If it's via surrender, explain what surrendering looks like. It just means, Mark, to bow down to the energy. Surrendering, stop resisting, stop fighting, stop coming up with narratives that keep it going. Stop listening to music that feeds it. Stop watching videos that feeds that narrative. Like you got to surrender by doing something completely different. If you know this thing is not working, or if you know this thing is working, you should bow down to the energy and marinate in that moment and see what it is that Most High is trying to tell you, number one. But whatever it is, surrender to it means like, I'm trying to think of a good example for you, Mark. Well, that's a good question too. I'm glad you asked that. So in reality, surrender looks like this. And I'm not going to use the same scenario. Surrender looks like whenever something is challenging to you, my first question for me is usually why? Is this a challenge? Like, why am I experiencing this? Because the thing that's challenging me is actually the thing that's going to bring me a lesson. In other words, I'm asking the question, like, what is the lesson I need to learn in this? What is in me that's making it a challenge? Because it's, whatever's happening, say if it's another person doing something to you, or you think that's doing something to you, well, that person is there to bring you a message. That person is there to bring you a message and a lesson. It's your job not to blame them, but to look for it, the message inside. The only way you can do that is to surrender to it and not fight it. Most people resist it by going back and forth with them and going back at them about what they think they did to them. And that's this. But no, that's not how the Most High works. The Most High gives you challenges so you can pass this next stage of this board to get to this next level in life. But if you sit here and fight and resist with it, you never get to see the other side. So you got to accept the fact that this thing is not happening to you. Don't be a victim. Stop being a victim is I guess is what I'm saying. And sit back and look at it for what it is. Accept it for what it is. Extract the lesson and keep going. Ego makes you resist it and fight it. Pride makes you resist and fight it. Hope that answered your question, Martin. You must always examine the situation. That's right, Tony. That's right, Baba. You must always examine the situation. You must always be alert, man. You got to always be alert. Again, when we think we're in control, we think nothing bad is supposed to happen to us. When we think we're in control, we think that everything is supposed to be great every day. Every relationship is supposed to be peachy creamy, laughing jokes, walks on the beach, sunny days, rose petals, trips around the world. We think all of that stuff. But when the relationship starts giving us rocky moments, we start looking for divorce papers. We start looking for the next person we can be with. Because we don't want to see what's on the other side of this issue. We're not thinking like this is the Most High challenging me. I talk about this so much. I truly believe that relationships are our mirror. I truly believe that. I truly believe there's no emotional connection like you and the person that you're with that you've chosen. Not your mother, not your children. It's a different connection. It's a totally different connection. Why? Because that person taps into you literally, literally with your emotions. You're connected to them emotionally. So when you're emotionally connected to someone, that person has the ability to tap on buttons that other people truly probably can't. That's why the fights and domestic violence happens. I don't see too many people having domestic violence cases with their sister or brothers. They can abuse their children, but that's some other stuff, right? But people have domestic violence cases because of their emotions being tapped into that they have not been ready to stop resisting with or surrender to. Guarantee you, if you tap into that surrendering moment with those emotions, domestic violence will stop it in an instance. You know what I'm saying? Hope that makes sense. But I want to do this in shift because I want to get to the closing part. If you have any questions, y'all, please, by all means, put it in the chat room. I want to say this. There's an African proverb, right? Y'all know me and my African proverbs, right? So there's an African proverb that says, by enduring challenges with our individual journeys is the key to the assurance of success and accomplishments. I'm going to say it one more time. By enduring the challenges with our individual journeys. Notice how they said individual journeys. Individual journeys is the key to the assurance of success and accomplishments. You have a thumbprint, like I said. This is your journey. Individually, first. If you happen to be blessed to connect with someone else, that person has their own individual journey. And two people are bringing two individual journeys together in order to accomplish a common purpose. That's what that's for. But if you have not surrendered to your purpose and your journey, that other person has not surrendered to their journey and their purpose, then guess what? You have a turbulent relationship. I'm gonna read this one more time because it's important when I want to leave with this. By ending the, by I'm sorry, by enduring the challenges with our individual journey is the key to the key to the assurance of success and accomplishment. We cannot be successful without mastering our individual challenges on our individual journeys. This reminds us that surrendering is not passive. It's an act of courage, of trust, and spiritual discipline. I know a lot of people right now that's talking about, I'm spiritual. I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. And I like to ask them this one question. What is that? What does that mean? Because and I don't mean no disrespect when I say this. Please don't take this the wrong way. But there is no Ankh you can rock. There's no Ifa Ilekes you can rock. There is no cross you can rock around your neck. There's no sage you can burn. There's no crystal rocks you can hold on to and pray into. There's no external thing that's going to make you surrender. You know why? Because surrendering begins where? In your head, in your mind, or what we call in Ifa, in your Ori. Those things help make you feel better in moments, but it cannot make you make the choices that you need to make for yourself. I know so many people who do all of these things, they do them well, but they struggle with the other parts of it because they think the religious things are spiritual things, and they're not the same. Spiritually, it's something that you got to make a choice to do. That's when you're being spiritual. You're making choices that align with the Most High's will for you. As hard as it may be, as difficult as it may come, or as smooth as it may come, or as light as it may come. It comes in all ways, not just one. But it still requires you to make a choice. And those who are truly living in that path, and trust me, I'm not asking anyone to be perfect, because there is no perfect person doing everything perfect on this planet. That's not real. I've never met that person. If they're somewhere in the middle of a jungle feeding the eagles or something. I don't know. I've never seen nobody in South Central that way. So I'm not asking anyone to be perfect, but I'm asking you to strive for perfection and align yourself with the Most High. And the only way we can do that is surrendering, which also requires you to do what? How do you surrender to something you know nothing about? That requires you to get into some studies of something that you believe in that's bigger than this world. That's bigger than your experiences. That's bigger than your mama's experiences. That's bigger than your homegirl's experience and your homeboy's experiences. That's bigger than this earth. If you're not surrendering, if you're not figuring that out, you really have nothing to surrender to. You have to get into something that's bigger than you. Now, the spirit of the Most High is already in all of us individually. But sometimes we need something that we need to study something, some foundational information that can give us some framework to this thing. Tony says, I would also argue, we don't have to argue, Bible, but you can also say that spiritual people have a great connection to God, and those who actually just show up at church and allow the pastor to be their religious judiciary. Okay, I get it. So I hope y'all getting something from this. I want to give you, in parting here, I want to give you all a message. Okay, I want to give you all a message. I'm gonna give you not a message, some homework. All right. I told you I'd get a piece of paper out and a pen, right? I want you to write this down. Write a letter to yourself. But I want you to write a letter to yourself from God's perspective. All right? Most High, whatever you call it. If you're an Ifa, write this letter from Oludumare's perspective. If you are a Christian, write it from Jesus' perspective. If you're a Muslim, write it from Allah's perspective. Whatever it is you do, write yourself a letter from the Most High's perspective. And in this letter, we want to talk about what might the Most High say about your desire to control things. If the Most High was writing you a letter about how you like to control things, what would their truth be? What might God be asking you to release in order to achieve the things that you need to achieve in your life that you're trying to control? What might God, the Most High, be asking you to release in order to achieve your goals? What control of what reins do you need to let go of? Write a letter to yourself in the perspective of what the Most High would say to you. And be honest. And be honest. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to offer you guys to come into the front row. Put your big hat on and come into the front row. If you want to come in and you have a statement you want to give, I put a link in the chat room for those who want to come in and participate in some Q&A. I'll put it back there again just for you guys to be able to see it. That is the link there. But I want to thank everybody for coming in. I hope y'all got something from this. At the end of the day, what's the moral to the message? It's time to release control, y'all, and tap back in. I really think that we can change this world if people got back to what's normal. I ain't gonna say what's normal, what's spiritual, what's indigenous, what's the right things to do, have been the right things to do for thousands of years before we came or found ourselves into this mix of this craziness that we live in, that human beings have corrupted over the years. And it has made people believe that now they have artificial AI control over lives, over their own life, and God is nowhere in there in the picture. It's getting worse and worse, worse and worse and worse as we go. I can only imagine what this world's going to look like in 10 years. But at the same time, I would love to ask us all who listen to my voice, if it's now or if it's somewhere down in the future, you watch this video on YouTube, I want you to listen to my voice and listen to what I'm about to say. We are not bigger than God. We are not bigger than the Most High. This world, the government, anything in this world is not bigger than the Most High. It did not create us. The Most High did and sent us to this earth to do some work called purpose. Our job is to figure out what that is and to surrender to the Most High's will, not the external world's will. The external world has ulterior motives that are not going to be beneficial to the Most High. Most High has motives too, but this Most High's motive is designed to help the world be better than we found it, not to tear it down, not to put smog throughout the city, not to deplete the ozone layer, not to pollute the oceans, not to make rent unaffordable to where people can't live, not to have inflation, not to have taxes, not to have all these things that stress people out every day just to live basic life. That is not the Most High's will. We're supposed to have harmonious relationships, but we can't have them without surrender. We're supposed to have harmonious wealth, but we can't usually have it without surrendering. We're supposed to have good children, but it's tough to have without surrendering. We're supposed to have good health, but it can't happen usually without surrendering. I know, Baba. I know, Baba. So With that being said, y'all, I want y'all to take these in consideration. There's 4 legs of life that we all need blessings in: health, wealth, relationships, and children. Look at your life in those areas. See where they're strong and see where they're weak. Wherever there's weak, there's a resistance there probably that exists. A lot of your lessons are going to come through that weak area because the weak has to be fixed for the rest of the ship to be strong. Pay attention to what that is. Fix that, surrender to that, and watch the ship float on into its existence and go on its right path, divine by the Most High and designed by the Most High. I appreciate y'all for being here, man. I'm going to get out of here. Share this video as many people as you possibly can. I'm going to get up out of here. I'll see y'all next week for the next Sunday. Again, don't forget about the Hood Summit. The difference between walking the path and knowing the path. It's going to be another good one. Hope y'all can make it. It is on the website, healpthd.com/events. Go there, get your tickets, tell somebody else, and bring somebody else. We'll be back here next week, y'all, at 10 o'clock with another Reset Sunday. I want you to go through this week and think about letting go of control, releasing the control, and letting God be what God is supposed to do. Again, what was that question I asked? What is God's job if you're in control? Like, what is God here to do if you're controlling everything? When that happens, just let go and think about that. If God is in control, if I'm in control, what is God going to do? I got to let God do what he got to do or she got to do. Stop resisting and surrender. Appreciate y'all. I'm out, y'all. Peace. Have a good one.